Cash flow refers to the money moving in and out of your business. When you have a positive cash flow, it simply means that you have enough money to manage the payments of any money that goes out of your business. If you have more money coming into your business than going out, you will have obtained a positive cash flow. Many business owners think the only way they can increase their cash flow is to increase their sales or increase their net income. This statement is partially true. You will increase your cash flow if you see additional sales. But what if you could increase your cash flow without adding any additional sales? If you're experiencing a tight cash flow, or maybe even a negative cash flow, there are things you can do in your business right now to help give your cash flow a boost without increasing your sales. I understand there may be times in your business when you really rely on having enough cash flow to get by, and I know this past year has been hard for a number of small business owners. If you're using a computerized software solution such as QuickBooks, you can easily generate a cash flow statement to see exactly where your business stands. Today, I'm going to talk about one simple tip you can do to help increase your cash flow, whether you're just starting your small business, you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, small business owner, bookkeeper, or virtual assistant. Your cash flow will be a huge contributor to making sure your business will survive. So listen in and make sure you follow this one simple tip. You're listening to the Mastering Your Small Business Finances podcast, where we get straight to the point on topics that ultimately affect your bottom line. That's right, as an entrepreneur with a small business, money management, growth, marketing, they all affect your bottom line. I'm your host, Chris Ponick. I'm a certified public accountant, and I've been helping small business owners like you navigate and easily understand these complicated topics for over 25 years. I'm a wife, a mom, a grandmother, and a small business owner myself, so I know your time is valuable. In my free time, I make the best sugar cookies and have mastered an amazing chocolate chip cookie recipe. And that's not just my opinion. You're in the right place. I promise your time will be well spent here. Each week, you'll gain confidence and clarity while making a successful impact on your business and grow your bottom line. Get comfy, grab a cookie, and let's get straight to the point with this week's episode. Welcome back. You've heard the term cash is king, right? Well, today I'm talking about cash flow in your small business and just how important it is to make sure you maintain a positive cash flow. Positive cash flow is when you have more money coming into your business than is going out of your business. If you find your business running into a negative cash flow, you will soon find you're struggling to make ends meet and you won't have the funds to make payments that are due. You obviously want to find out what is causing your negative cash flow, and you may need to inject personal funds to continue to operate, or even take out a loan or a line of credit. These are all things you, as a small business owner, hope you never need to do. So what can you do to make sure you don't get to this point? One of the quickest ways to increase your cash flow is to look at your accounts receivable. Your accounts receivable list will show you each of your customers who still owe you money. If you're looking at an accounts receivable aging summary, not only will it show you how much each of your customers owes you, but it will also show you how past due each of their payments are. Staying on top of your accounts receivable listing will not only help your cash flow, but when you find a customer who is extremely past due on paying an invoice, it gets harder and harder to collect these funds from them. Having a strict collections process in place so that you know exactly what you need to do if you have a customer that falls behind in their payments will be crucial. Make sure you're being proactive and send reminders when your customers' due dates are approaching, and whenever a customer has a past due balance, send out collection letters as soon as possible. And don't be afraid to charge late fees for past due balances, but be upfront with them about these fees. Having late fees may actually help you get your payments faster, and you need to consider what this late payment is doing to your business. You may be able to use these late fees as a bargaining tool as well, when you tell them you'll write off the late fees if they pay by a specific time. Another thought here is if you have a customer who has an outstanding balance or even a reputation for paying late, you might want to require them to pay upfront. Why bother with payment terms if you know they're not going to abide by them anyway? If you're an accountant or high-stress professional, you want to start enjoying your life more, both at work and at home. You've likely built a successful career, but at what cost? The problem is, you're so buried in deadlines and to-do lists that there's no time or energy left for the things that really matter. You're great at managing clients, deadlines, and numbers, but your own stress, time, and well-being? Well, they always seem to come last. The constant pressure leads to burnout, guilt, and feeling like no matter how much you do, it's never enough. I see this all the time. As a CPA with over 20 years of experience and a certified coach, I've helped high-achieving professionals, just like you, go from stress and burnout to a more integrated and balanced lifestyle using the reinvention process. This process helps you reduce stress, reclaim your time, and finally build a healthier, happier, and more balanced lifestyle without sacrificing your success. The truth is, stress doesn't go away on its own, and eventually the cost isn't just exhaustion, it's your health, your relationships, and your love for the work you once enjoyed. If you're ready to build a life that you don't need a vacation from, it's easy to get started. First, schedule your complimentary stress audit and clarity session, where in just one session, I'll help you pinpoint what's really draining your time and energy. Create a personalized action plan to help you simplify your life, reclaim your time, and increase your productivity so that you start living with more energy, focus, and freedom. You don't have to keep doing this alone. I can help you customize a plan to stop the overwhelm and start enjoying your life again. Go to financialadventure.com, click on the Work With Me button, and book your free session today. Let this be the moment that you stop just surviving and start living with more control and finally enjoy a more integrated and balanced lifestyle again. In the meantime, check out all the other resources and solutions on my website that you can immediately apply to your life so that you can stop being stressed out and feeling like you're never doing enough, and instead breathe a sigh of relief at the end of the day knowing you've accomplished enough and can enjoy your life more. Make sure you're sending out your invoices right away. You know you won't get paid until your customer receives their invoice. By sending out your invoices right away, you'll speed up this process. If you don't send your invoices out for a couple of weeks, that will mean that you will need to wait a couple of weeks to receive those funds. By being prompt and invoicing on a regular basis, you're starting the clock for any terms that you may be offering to your customers. I know as a business owner, you are busy, and you may be putting invoicing your customers off for weeks or even months, but I would recommend you take a deep look at your schedule and find some time to invoice your customers at least on a weekly basis. Not only will you start getting paid sooner, but your invoicing process will be much smoother, and the time that you spend invoicing each week will actually be much shorter than if you put all of your invoicing off for weeks. If you absolutely know that you're unable to do your invoicing on a timely and consistent basis, you might want to look into hiring a bookkeeper to help you with this. When you are invoicing your customers, you may want to analyze your payment terms and make sure that they are working for your business. If you're offering terms of net payment in 30 days and you know that you're falling short on your cash flow, maybe it's time to change your payment terms. If the net payment in 30 days doesn't seem to work, you could shorten it to net payment in 20 days to help you with your cash flow with these additional 10 days. You could even offer discounts for early payments. Rather than having your customers wait until the due date to make their payments, you could offer a discount if they pay earlier. This could be a win-win for both you and your customer, especially if your customer isn't having any cash flow issues and they want to take advantage of the early payment discount. You would need to decide how much of a discount you would offer as well as the timing on the early payment. A popular early payment discount would be a 2% discount if paid in 10 days. If you currently don't offer credit card payments or even ACH payments, you could offer these payment types to help expedite your payments. By offering credit card payments or ACH payments, you may find it easier for customers to pay. They don't need to handwrite a check, get an envelope ready, and send the payment in the mail. It's quick and easy, but do take into consideration the processing fees and adjust your pricing if necessary. Rather than even getting into the invoicing game, you could require all your customers to pay up front. This is getting to be more and more common, and customers don't even seem to mind. By doing this, the customer pays right when they place their order. If you do need to invoice the customer, the payment terms are due upon receipt. This means that as soon as your customer receives their invoice, payment is due. When you offer these payment terms, you really want to make sure that you're on top of your invoicing for your customers. Again, if you wait to send an invoice to a customer for 1 month and they pay as soon as they get their invoice, they're paying the invoice as soon as they get it, but it still has been about 30 days since they originally made their purchase. One last thing, many business owners think their profits are equal to their cash flow, and this is a big misconception. This is exactly why at the beginning of the podcast I mentioned that you could increase your cash flow by increasing your profits, but depending on your situation, you could also still have a negative cash flow if you have something else going on in your business. This is why I'm saying if you want one simple tip to increase your cash flow, you should look at your accounts receivable listing and everything that's tied to your invoicing and accounts receivable in your business. Since cash flow is defined as the money moving in and out of your business, you want to ensure you are doing everything you can to keep the money moving in as fast as possible. And you know I'm going to ask, what's at least one thing that you'll take away from this episode that will help your business succeed and grow your bottom line? If you need some accountability, join our private Facebook community and post your action item. We'd love to support you. Thanks for taking the time to tune into this episode of Mastering Your Small Business Finances. If you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed creating it for you, I'd love for you to give it a 5-star rating and subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. Visit financialadventure.com for the show notes, links from this episode, and while you're there, leave a comment if you have a topic you're interested in learning more about that affects your bottom line. If you're looking for a community where you can ask questions and get feedback about your small business, join my private Facebook group. You can find the links to this group and more on financialadventure.com. And remember, any financial information shared on this podcast is not to be considered professional, financial, or tax advice and should not be solely relied upon. Please consult your CPA or tax advisor for an opinion on your specific circumstances. I'm looking forward to having you tune in next time. Until then, dream big, follow your heart, and love what you do.